This is fusilone, and it's called fusilone because anything that ends in oni in Italian means something big. So this is a big twisted pasta, as opposed to this, you see, which is fusilli. This is the one that you find in the grocery store, and this is a smaller version of this. And today we're going to make this pasta with a typical ragu sauce, a lamb ragu sauce of the region of Molise. So I'm putting mine in, going to give it a quick stir and let this cook. I'm going to put the cover back on until that pasta is al dente, and now we can go ahead and make that lamb ragu sauce for you. So we want to start in a pan with some olive oil. So I have some olive oil heating up in my saucepan, just about 1/4 of a cup. And then to flavor the sauce, we want to have some rosemary. So here's some fresh rosemary, about 2 tablespoons. Please don't use dried rosemary for this because it's much too medicinal. And this is what rosemary looks like when you buy it. And then you just take it right off the stem, you see, just like that. And it has a wonderful flavor, and it's much better than using the dried version. So we have about 2 tablespoons of that, and then we have 3 cloves of garlic. And now we want to just whiz that up. Isn't it nice to have gadgets? Okay, so that's all ready to go, and we're going to put that right into our pan now with the olive oil. So that all goes in to flavor the oil. It's a very quick sauce. It's going to take you about 20-25 minutes. And as I say, this is a typical sauce of the region of Molise, which is on the Adriatic side. And then with that, with our sauce, we want to have some bay leaves. And these are fresh bay leaves, so you want to throw 2 of those in. At the end, we'll take that out, though, because we don't want to leave that in because, you know, somebody might get a piece of that, and you could choke on it if you're not careful. So you want to be careful with the bay leaves. And then we need to have some peppers. So here are sweet red peppers, and I'll tell you, in Molise, they use a lot of peppers, but they also use it in a dried form. The little devil, as it's called. And there they are. And you could put this in the sauce if you wanted to. You could make the sauce hot. So let's add just a couple of those because I like a hot sauce. So here are peppers, and all you want to do is cut the peppers up, take the seeds out, then put them into strips, and then just give them just a coarse chop. So there are our peppers, and now they can go in right into the pan. And you want to get those soft. So we'll mix that around a little bit. And before we add the meat, we want to make sure that our peppers are soft enough. We need to add some tomatoes. And here you want to use plum tomatoes. This is the tomato of choice when you are making a ragu sauce or just a plain tomato sauce. And you know, because we're using lamb, this is so symbolic of the region that we're talking about, Molise, because when you're in Molise, of course, there are a lot of sheep, shepherds. They make pecorino cheese. So this is a typical sauce of the region. So here we have our tomatoes, our plum tomatoes. And now we can put those in after we put in the meat. So here's our lamb. We've got 1 pound of ground lamb. And now we can put that right in with those peppers. And it's beginning to smell absolutely beautiful. I think we're ready for wine. So I'm just going to eyeball that for you. 2/3 of a cup. It's going to give that a really nice flavor. And you want to let that evaporate a little bit. And then what we're going to do is allow this to cook for about 25 minutes. So after the wine goes in, let it cook off for a minute or so, then add your tomatoes. So there are our beautiful plum tomatoes, and of course this sauce is going to taste best when tomatoes are in season. So that's all there is to the sauce. So I'm going to cover that now and put that aside because I have a sauce for you, and it's right here. Let me show you. I can turn this off now. Look at how beautiful this looks. This is what it looks like after it's fully cooked. It's nice and thick and chunky. And now I want to drain this. And you know, the trick to a good pasta dish is to always remember to leave some of the water on the pasta. You don't want to take it all off because it's got starch, that water, and it helps to have the sauce cling to the pasta. So you take a look at those beautiful fusiloni. So now we have this, and we want to add some of this wonderful sauce. So over the top. And this is another thing you should know about saucing pasta, that you never really want to over sauce it. You want to be able to see that pasta. So do this gingerly. So that's about enough for now. And you see how the fusiloni just grab that sauce. And then what you can do is just put on a little bit of a grating of pecorino cheese, because after all, this is the cheese of Molise. So there is the pecorino. Okay, so that's all there is to that.